Kat got her face. Didn't you get your face tattooed on somebody? Somebody showed you.
Yes.
Your face
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally, not my figure. It was me, like my face. I thought,
was it well done,
or am I disturbed by this?
Well, don't answer that. If it was well done, never mind. I didn't. Don't answer that.
It was very well done.
If your childhood nostalgia factor or just cool factor isn't going to be tickled by today, well, then, my friend, you should check your wrist for a pulse because you might be dead. So.
I've been so excited about this one from the second. I think Jude had reached out to them, and I was like, oh, man. We'll talk about it more after we add them to the stream. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome at this time Catherine Sutherland and Nakia Burrise.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Yes. Thank you.
So great to have you both here. Such powerful forces in the Power Rangers universe and powerful women and powerful individuals. We are honored to have you guys here.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
I also want to mention that I love both of your names, and they're so fun to say. So beautiful women, beautiful names. And yeah, once again, Josh and I are so excited about today. I mean, I don't think that there is a single person on this planet that isn't familiar with the Power Rangers franchise. I think that is very fair to say. And this is amazing. I know Josh and I, Power Rangers has been such a big part of both of our lives. And I think it's very easy to say that the Power Rangers community is the best in the entire galaxy. You guys have the most incredible friends and fans.
We do. I hands down absolutely agree with you. I remember being on the show 20-something years ago. I wouldn't have even imagined the cult following that Power Rangers has today. Like I had no idea. The very first con I went to, I remember I called Kat and I was like, Kat, oh my gosh, people know who I am. There's people here. And she's like,
there's like a lot of people here. Like,
yeah.
Well, you know, when we were on the show back in the 90s, we didn't have social media. We had pagers. We didn't have cell phones unless you were carrying around that big brick. Like, so we didn't know what was going on unless, you know, we saw people out on the street. Like I didn't know about Comic-Cons until 2009 when I did my first one. So
yeah, we got contacted by this guy who invited us to Anime Expo, and I'm like, what's a convention? Well, I don't know what for what? What are you asking me for? I was so confused. I said, and he said, well, it's for Power Rangers. And I'm like, that show's still on? And he's like, yeah. And then he said he would make a print for me. And I was like, okay. And so we showed up, and I was so overwhelmed with how many people were there and so excited to see us. And I was in baby world. I just had my son, and I was just completely out of the industry and didn't understand what was going on. It was really a blessing. And then that was the beginning. And then we did Power Morphicon, and then it just started kind of taking off, and it's become this gift that continues to give in our lives. It's amazing.
Now I own a con. I co-own a con.
Yes.
Called Ranger Stop and Pop. We just had our second year. It was spectacular. We were in tears. Karen Ashley, who played the Yellow Ranger before me, and Michael Bioni, who owns Ranger Stop Orlando. Those are my two business partners. And so, yeah, this is our third year. Kat has been, of course, both times. Surprise. But it was, this year was amazing. We just had it in August.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like double in a year. I don't know if they doubled or tripled, but it was like crazy how many people came, and I think people were ready for it after such a difficult year. Yeah. It was like everybody was very emotional. Me, of course, I cried everything. So that's but everybody was like so happy to be together, you know.
Yeah. We hadn't seen a lot of our family. We call it family, Power Ranger family, since before COVID. So it's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, we may have talked on the phone, but not seen each other in person. So it was really, really great. It was really great. And next year, we just announced our dates, June 10th through the 12th at the Sheraton Atlanta Hotel in Atlanta. So yay.
That is awesome. And I think that really also goes to show, like you said, how many friends and fans you have, that you can have a convention solely based on the Power Rangers franchise.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty phenomenal. That's amazing.
We had some amazing anime guests there too. We had amazing anime. So Ranger Stop and Pop is actually, we're bringing Power Rangers and pop culture together. So we had like 19 Power Rangers, and then we had Chris Sabat, and we had Elizabeth Maxwell and Leah Clark, and we're gonna have some more anime guests.
Jason Liebrecht. Jason Liebrecht was there too.
My hero. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's incredible. It just goes to show you again how powerful, because Power Rangers, to a lot of just people in general, is such a great beginning. It's where a lot of people started their journey into this world of fantastical heroes and comic books and, you know, things that you don't usually see. And you guys were such a staple of it to a lot of people growing up, that I think that you brought up a good point, Kia, how you're saying in the 90s, there was no internet. You didn't know. You guys were popping. You guys were the ish. You were everyone had Power Ranger stuff. I mean, everyone, like, they had, and the merchandise was crazy, and it was always sold out. So like when you'd go to the store, you would never get like something cool. You'd get like a broken, you know what I mean? I didn't like the Blue Ranger, but I got the Blue Ranger glove. So I had the Blue Ranger glove. I was a Green Ranger kid and a Red Ranger, you know what I mean? And then, you know, it's kind of like pro wrestling almost, because they changed the actors so many times, and there were things backstage. People like, what happened? Well, they're like, well, he came back on another episode. Like, what? So, I think it's just paramount to how powerful that what you both did and the whole cast did, that nowadays it can anchor an entire con and people revolve around it because it's a natural fit.
Yeah.
Natural fit.
I'm curious, did the two of y'all become friends like on set, or was it like through appearances and conventions? Like, how did your friendship begin?
We're not friends.
Okay.
We're good actors.
We hate each other.
I assumed.
I was lucky enough to have my screen test with Catherine. She's the very first person that I met, and we literally just hit it off right the first day, and we found out that we're 3 days apart, born the exact same year, and we're just like two bodies but same soul.
It's so funny because we have a YouTube channel we have together now called Power Rangers Playback, and we have a podcast as well, and so we spend a lot of time together now, and it's really ridiculous. Like yesterday we were interviewing someone and we kept saying the same thing at the same time. I was like, stop it. I show up at her house yesterday. We're both wearing gray tops. I was like, okay, this is getting a bit much now.
The gray top memo, of course.
Yeah,
it's gray top season and gray sweatpants season. It's the season. So
It's the season. No, I remember that day so specifically because I had to read with 3 different girls. I don't even remember their names. And when they asked me at the end, I mean, I just felt like there was no comparison. Like she just had something special about her. And so the producer asked me who I thought, and I said, well, it's definitely Nakia. And he's like, that's what I was feeling too. And so when she came on the set, I just already felt like I had that relationship with her. And because we were the only 2 girls, we really clung to each other. We both have our faith, and, we're both Christians. So we both felt very connected that way. And it's just been 20-something years now of just love.
And I'm just humbled thinking about this, that I didn't even know that the producers had asked her who she would pick. I didn't find this out until recently. Like, I literally didn't know. She'd never said anything on set or anything like that she had something to do with my job. Because I'd be like, oh my gosh, thank you. She never even mentioned that. I just literally found out within recent years that she had something to do with me getting the job, because I'm sure that because the chemistry, like if she would have been like, oh, she sucked, I'm sure that they really would have listened, because we're going to be on screen together. So thank you. Thank you, Blondie.
There was no comparison, honestly. There wasn't.
Getting off verklempt over here. Okay. Yeah.
Destiny spoke, you know.
Yeah.
It was a well fit too, and especially to have, you know, women Power Rangers kicking ass at the time was a great thing, and it continues to be a great thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now the craziness over the past year or so seemed to be the year for, you know, people to think outside the box, because we were all cooped up. And I see you guys launched some YouTube channel, Power Rangers Playback. What inspired the idea, and what's been one of the most rewarding things to come out of creating that?
Well, Josh.
Would you like to start?
Yeah, you go.
So we were at a convention in Scotland, and to our right was Nolan North and Troy Baker. And they had this ridiculously long line, and I had just met them. I didn't know who they were at the time. And we were like, what do they do? And they had a YouTube channel at the time called Retro Replay. And we're like, oh my gosh, how cool. And so we were talking to them about it, and they were like, yeah, we play video games and we have fun. Retro video games. And I was like, well, all right. And all these people were like, woo. And I was like, we should start a YouTube channel. And so we literally came up with the concept at that con. We just sat there and we were like, what do our fans ask us the most of? They always ask us, what did we feel in episode 395? Or what happened behind the scenes episode? Or what, you know, so we started out with, let's watch our episodes and tell the fans what was happening when we were filming these episodes. Well, it was such a brilliant idea.
I agree.
The very first episode is going to go up, and we get a copyright claim.
Oh, like, it's me. It's me.
I'm like, Kat, we got to, because I'm handling the editing portion, putting up the videos, and we get a copyright claim. And the copyright claim is for, like, you know, with YouTube, I don't know if you know, with YouTube, they'll tell you a portion of how much the copyright claim is, like 5 minutes of the video. But well, this was a 20-minute video, and it was 15 minutes of the video was a copyright claim. And we were like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So we kept getting copyright claims because we were using Power Ranger footage. Watching it, even if you altered it for some reason, toy company didn't care, Hasbro didn't care. It was mainly toy company, the Japan company, that had an issue. Even when we wrote them and we're like, you know, we were actors on the show, they didn't care. So we were forced to come up with some original content. And I thank God for that, because if we didn't have those copyright claims, then we wouldn't have all of the different elements that we have on our show. Kat is a morning owl, and I am a night owl for sure. So I probably wouldn't be morning owl then. It would be morning something else.
Morning chicken. A morning chicken.
Turkey.
Rooster. That'll do.
She's a morning rooster. So at night, I would have all of these thoughts. I would like pray, and I'd be like, okay, Lord. And I'd come up with all these ideas, and I'd shoot them over to Kat in the morning. And then she'd be like, oh yes, I like that. I like that. I like that. And so we came up with, we were like, okay, let's interview guests on our show. Then we came up with a television show, a game show called Who Knows It Best. And so we had Power Rangers competing against Power Rangers, and fans competing against fans for the show that they're on. And, you know, most of the time the fans are going to win because they know more than we do from the show. So yeah, we came up with all of these different segments for our show, and it's all because we kept getting copyright claims.
Yeah,
so it forced you guys to pivot into something beautiful.
Yes,
really,
exactly. It's been such an interesting thing, because we literally launched it, and then COVID happened and the lockdown happened, and we didn't realize how much of a need there was in the community, the Ranger community, for that connection to each other, because a lot of them connect at conventions. And so we started a Discord channel for them, and then we started membership. And it is so touching, because I'm thinking of Kenny specifically, Kia, that one of our members is like, literally, he cannot wait for when we do our member chats, and he's so supportive and wonderful, and it's just given him such joy, because he doesn't, you know, he lives with his mom, and he's, you know, COVID's really affected so many people. So we have had so much joy, and like our whole mission, I guess, for our channel was to bring inspiration and love and joy to people's lives. And that's what we all need right now, because it's just a hot mess out there.
Amen. Yes, definitely. And I mean, you're so right, Kat. Like, it really gives people something to look forward to. And it's so nice knowing that you're getting it. Like, it's just, I love it. What would the two of you say has been the most enjoyable part of the channel? Like, is it a specific segment? Is it seeing other fellow Power Rangers? What is your favorite part?
I think working with Kat.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's been so fun.
It's, you know what, we balance each other, and she understands me. She can tell like when we're filming or when we're traveling, like when I'm done. It's like, I'm just like, I want to go home. I want to put a pillow to my head. And she's just like, oh, my sister's done. It's so great. Like, we just know each other that way. And she'll have an eye expression where I know she's about to fall asleep. Like, I know each other that well. It's been really, I just feel like it's when you have a business, you guys have to balance each other. Like, it has to work out, or else there's going to be just too much friction happening.
Yeah.
So I do
communicate. I think we communicate very well. And like she said, that when you understand someone and you know how far they can be pushed and when they're at their limit and everything, I think it's a really special thing to be able to communicate that way. I think that's the demise of a lot of businesses, is when the communication isn't there and you can't be honest with each other and feel into each other. So yeah, it's been a real gift to work, because we hadn't worked together since Power Rangers in this way. I mean, we travel and do conventions together, but it's been a real gift to this.
Your class dismissed.
Yes, I did do your show. Yes. And we did the order too, but I mean, on a long, like on a bigger scale, I guess. Yeah. And we get to play and be creative and have fun. And then we started a podcast as well, because we wanted to kind of expand beyond Power Rangers a little bit and give people a bit more of an insight into our lives and things, issues, how we feel about certain issues going on in the world. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
That is awesome. You guys, you know, so you mentioned people, there's aspects on there about trivia and answering questions and knowing episodes, which are the fans are experts.
Yes.
What are you two experts about?
Game of Thrones.
Okay, I like it. I'm not a smart man. I don't know how to read. I met a girl with the book, the grayscale on the towers. I will fight the Dark Lord. That's my thank you. That was my Dallas impersonation.
Very good.
Very good at sounding like an old man. It's good.
I was literally obsessed with Game of Thrones, and Nakia was like kind of rolling her eyes, and then finally she's like, "All right, I'll watch it." And this one was even more obsessed than me. Like, she binge watched the whole, like, how many episodes?
How many seasons were there? I binge watched all 8 seasons.
Which is a different experience too than if you if you're in the original, we had to like wait months at a time and theory craft about what was going to happen.
We're like, please,
mainline that.
Such an amazing show.
And now we have the prequel, right?
You're excited for House of Dragons. It's coming, right?
I'm so excited.
Matt Smith. Ooh, it's gonna be good.
The guy they hired to do the main Targaryen guy, what's his name? Matt Smith. Matt Smith.
Yes.
Dr. Who.
How could I forget that name? It's so elaborate. He fits the role really well. You know what I mean? With the blonde hair and everything, right?
I think so. I think it's good. And Naomi Watts is in it, I think, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not sure what she plays, but she's in it. So, and the thing is, I was obsessed with Khaleesi. So the whole Targaryen storyline, like, I'm just so excited. I can't even take it.
Well, we're actually going to be conducting the rest of this interview in Dothraki, so I hope you guys have been studying up.
I'm ready.
No, I don't think I can say that, but I love that show too. Nakia, what about you? What are some of your fandoms besides Game of Thrones?
What have I binge watched? I really like the simple shows. Like, well, it's not simple. Sweet Magnolias.
Okay.
Yes.
Binge, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love the cast. I love the feel. It's a small town, but it's just so like it just makes you feel good when you watch it. And I got an opportunity to work with Brooke. We had filmed a pilot together for ABC. It was such a great pilot. I wish it had gotten picked up, but just to see her continuing on was really, really beautiful. But I really love Sweet Magnolias. What else have I binged watched? Ooh, Money Heist.
Oh,
Money Heist. It is actually a Spanish show, but it's dubbed in English on Netflix. It is like, if you check it out, it's like #1, like all over.
Oh, I'm gonna look at that.
Money
Yeah,
Heist.
it's really well written. Really well written.
Did you guys watch Squid Game?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm late to it. So
I don't know how I feel about that. I started watching that and I was like, I kept falling asleep, Kat. I ain't gonna lie. I did the first episode. The first episode before they started getting. I've only watched the first episode.
Spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it, apparently. So here it comes.
God.
Also, all right, I warned him. Spoiler alert. Go for it.
Which one? What did you say?
Well, he was saying
spoiler. So to spoil a little bit.
No spoilers, but watch it in subtitles because it doesn't translate the same in English. It has to be in Korean, and it's so intense. It's like Hunger Games, but way more gory and disturbing. It's so good though. It's so well done. You're just like sitting on the edge of your seat. So.
I heard it's kicking off battle royale vibes kind of deal which is another older movie which spawned a genre of video games as well. So the Korean culture has definitely the past decade made a huge launch in American pop culture as well. I feel like it's really been integrated well here. It's great. Super welcoming.
I think the interesting story, regardless if you're a fan of that genre or not, to come out of Squid Games was that the writer spent 10 years trying to get the show picked up, and finally, like right before the pandemic, Netflix gave it the go. So it just goes to show hard work, determination, persistence. If you have a goal, if you have a dream, don't give up, you could be the next Squid Games.
Yes. I know that everyone didn't know that they were missing Squid Game in their life, and now it's like this huge phenomenon. Yeah.
I actually had a commercial that was based off of Squid Games, and I think it was for like a furniture company or something. They actually were like, and if you don't come, you will be. They said red light, green light, and if you don't come, you will be eliminated. I was like, oh my gosh! And it was like a commercial for. I have a question for you, kid. Now you said it took him 10 years. Did he end up putting up his own money to film it and then sold it to Netflix, or he just sold the script?
He sold the script.
Okay.
Yeah, because everyone kept turning him down, just saying, I guess, conceptually, it's not what they wanted. And then finally, I mean, now streaming services are,
I know.
But it's, regardless, there's a lot going on right now, obviously in the industry. But they gave him the chance. And look, it's, one of the biggest shows of all time.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great story.
And Abu Dhabi is actually organizing a non-lethal Squid Game, so looks like people are going to get to play in person. So
I feel like that's going to be one of those things that's going to be on like Russian pay-per-view only, or you know what I mean, or something that's like you have to you pay $60 and then mysteriously like $300 disappears from your bank account a week later. You're like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I don't know. They have some weird stuff in Russia too, like mass martial arts fights when it's like 4-on-4 in the octagon, and I know it sounds crazy, right? It's like
like Gladiator, real life Gladiator.
Yes.
I may not be watching that one. I don't know.
You're gonna skip that one.
Football's on. I just want.
I plan to watch rodeos. So
rodeos are hardcore when you think about it. I mean, it's hard. Especially if you look at it from the angle of the animals as well. It's completely different. You know what I mean? I can understand that too.
Well, the thing, this is something weird I'm going to share about myself with you guys. I love like serial killer documentaries. I can watch Game of Thrones, Squid Game, all these kind of things because they're like, it's not real. But if I see someone hurt, I literally feel it in my body. Like we were in Oklahoma watching a rodeo, and the guy was on the bull and he fell, and the bull stomped on his leg and broke his leg, and he was like like scrambling to get out of the ring, and I was like, I can't do this. I ran away. I literally ran away, and Nakia was like, well, there she goes.
Nakia was she's like, all right, let me finish my beer. Let me finish my drink. All right, let's go. Kat. Happened again. You know?
It's different when it's in reality, you know? It's
100%.
I hope that they're okay. Oh no.
Yeah, one thing.
Yeah.
It's like I lived on a very busy street as a child, and we had several cats. And I'll just leave it like that. You know what I mean?
Josh, my mom told me, this is a horrible story. My mom told me I had a kitten, and my cat had kittens. We kept one of the kittens. Its name was Bagheera. I was so attached to this cat.
Bagheera, named after the Jungle Book. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I love it.
Bagheera disappeared one day. And my mom told me that Bagheera's dad came back and got her. And she, you know, he's a feral cat. So he's, you know, Bagheera's living with his dad now. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't find out till I was in my 30s that cat was killed by a car.
I have this.
Why tell me at this point?
Why tell me?
Why tell me? Let me live it.
Fantasy.
Hold on. So let me get one more thing in.
Oh, it was a long time ago. You're fine.
They did that to my poor grandfather. Okay. I went and saw my grandfather in the later stages of his life before he passed. Rest his soul. God rest his soul. And he had a dog named Corgi. And for 4 years, the dog was only lived to be about 7, but he loved feeding the dog, and the dog passed. And when Grandpa lost his memory, they got him another dog that looked the same. So he was in the retirement facility, and we were visiting him, and he was like, oh, Corgi, good to see you. And someone in the room was like, you know, that's not Corgi, right? Or some family member was like, you know, Corgi's been. I was like, stop, just let him let him have his moment, please, for God's sake. And same thing with you. Why would you tell me this? I wanted to believe the cat left with his father Felix, and they live in the prairie somewhere eating wild rats with a burrow by the bunnies.
I literally have the same story, Kat. Like, I'm like shaking.
Really?
This same exact story. My little kitten Whiskers, unfortunately, like it. Yes. And so my dad and my mom were like, listen, he's a baby. He wanted to go live with his parents, you know. And so I lit into my 30s. We were having dinner, and my parents are watching now, so I'm sure they're loving reliving this. But they were talking about when Whiskers passed, and I was like, what do you mean? And then, you know, they actually called a child psychologist, and they said that is the most, you know, that's the best way for a child to understand the trauma. But what about my trauma now? What about my trauma?
I did something similar to my children, but I told them at a younger age the truth. But we had a hamster called Sparkle, and Sparkle died. And I panicked. I totally panicked. My kids were about 7 and 5, right? And I'm like, oh no, how do I do this? Because they love Sparkle. And I call my husband. He's like, just bury it in the backyard. I'm like, what if they find Sparkle? I put the dead hamster in my bag, and I put it in the dumpster at the school, because I didn't want them to find the hamster. Is that stupid or what?
What did you tell them?
I told them that Sparkle went to heaven. And, you know, God took the hamster, and they were like, they were upset, but they accepted that. But they were not happy when they found out that Mummy put Sparkle in the dumpster at school, because I didn't want them to find it. I totally panicked. How stupid.
Well,
oh my gosh,
the way you grew up, because, you know, your family made up the story. My family, on the other hand, they would be like, Kia, he's dead. Okay.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I didn't, so funny.
I didn't know how therapeutic this stream was going to be for me, but this is.
I feel like a weight's been lifted off my chest telling my story. I feel good. Like, I'm glad that the world. I was upset. We were all very upset, you know. And like, here's my wife even has a great one. If you see road victims, they're taking naps. They're taking
They're
naps.
taking naps.
They're taking naps.
With blood and guts coming out of
Eating
their bodies.
marmalade sandwiches. All right.
Yum, yum. Well, let's pivot a little bit. We're going to pivot a little bit. We actually have a game we're going to play in a few. But since Josh had brought it up earlier about, you know, the fact that you could go to every toy store and we were so blessed to have so much merchandise and collectibles. Do you guys collect yourself? And also, what is the like strangest or most unique piece of non-licensed Power Rangers merchandise that you've seen? Because I'm sure there has to be something pretty interesting.
Some stuff.
Yeah.
We do collect ourselves. We do. I actually literally just got 3 lightning figures of myself today. Exactly.
Show them.
Yeah. Well, they're in the box up over there.
Wow.
So I'd have to leave and then come back. I literally picked them up right before the interview. So I'm really excited. I'm going to put it on Instagram later on today. We've gotten like pictures. Well, you said no. Kat got her face. Didn't you get your face tattooed on somebody? Somebody showed you.
Yes.
Tattooed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally, my figure. It was me, like my face. I thought,
was it well done?
Or am I disturbed by this?
Well, don't answer that if it was well done. Never mind. I didn't. Don't answer that.
It was very well done. It was very well done. But I'm just thinking, as the man gets older, I'm gonna look like a whip, you know. My husband was like
married. Like if he gets married and you have somebody else's face on your like, is your wife okay with that?
Yeah.
What if she's also a Power Rangers fan? Then it's kind of that.
Yeah.
It could be bonus points.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Look, we mentioned this earlier. My wife has Jackass tattoos. Love Jackass. Has the shopping cart and a skull. And when we got to meet Steve-O, she fangirled out and it was okay. And I was just in the background like,
I can't with the Jackass. My son thinks they are hilarious. I just don't get it at all. I think they're gross.
They're really nice people, though. I met several of them. Very, very sweet.
They are very nice. Yes, all of them.
Because they're all like older gentlemen now. You know what I relate them to? They're all a bunch of retired clowns kind of deal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they were clowns in the circus for many years and they did the act and they did the thing. And now they're like, we're old clowns.
I just can't believe what they would do. The situations they would put themselves in. I was like, are you crazy? You're getting in there with a bull, with a target on your butt.
Well, speaking of merchandise, something that you shared with me when we met, Catherine, that I was so impressed with, and it's honestly inspired me and my wife to pursue our dreams and doing also, is you wrote a book.
Yes, I did.
You wrote a book called The Boy with His Heart on His Sleeve.
Yes.
And this is a wonderful, wonderful book, by the way. Super creative. The illustrations and everything are really well done. Just wanted to show a couple pages off right here. Tell us real quickly before we play this game, what was kind of, you know what I mean, inspiration behind this? And are you writing more books like this? And break us down.
Yeah, I know the drawings were so cute.
They're beautiful.
Jerry Bennett is the artist, and he just really captured exactly what I wanted, because I wanted it to look almost like a child drew the drawings, but still have the emotion conveyed. But so my son is, when he was a little boy, I used to call him the boy with the heart on his sleeve, because my son is a male version of me. He wears his feelings right here. And it can be very polarizing to be that kind of person, because people sometimes misunderstand you, or you're very sensitive to what people say about you or whatever. And so I wrote the story with him in mind, and it's actually been really beautiful, because a lot of the autistic community and a lot of special needs parents have said they really resonated with it for their children, because it's about someone that is misunderstood, and the world can be cruel and judgmental. And so in the story, his heart shrinks, and he learns to listen to the voice within him of God to tell him who he truly is. And he learns to share his heart in a beautiful way that's respectful and kind, but still honoring who he truly is. And so it's really, it applies to, I think, people that are bullied. It applies to children that are, special needs or struggling with feeling outcast. And I'm really happy that it's been received so well. It was a little passion project, and I published it myself. And I have written several others. I just haven't got an artist for them yet, but I hope to release some more. So I love to write. It's my favorite thing.
Well, that is very incredible. And Josh, that's cool that you have a copy of it.
Yeah. Not only do I have a copy, okay, but it is
humble brag.
It is signed.
It was before he had his beautiful child, and I was like, "You have to have the book for this beautiful baby that's coming into the world."
So I have a personalized one.
Okay. All right, Josh. All right. Well, we actually have a game that we're going to play. This is the game of Would You Rather. There's no wrong answers. If you guys want to elaborate on why you pick something, great. If not, that's fine too. Josh, do you want to read the first one?
Well, of course. Oh, sure thing. Okay, Nakia and Kat, would you rather have to wear that Power Rangers outfit every day or have to wear pajamas all day?
Pajamas!
Okay. Yes. Pajamas all day. Yeah, that's what I do.
Silk, woolen, flannel, stretchy. What is the preferred flannel?
Cotton.
Okay.
Cotton. Nakia feels the cold, so flannel for sure for her. Yeah.
Okay.
But
what about you, Heather? What are you going with? I'm going to go with terry cloth.
If I had to pick, I'm wearing the Power Rangers outfit every day. Are you kidding me? Like that's a no-brainer for me. No.
You could get Power Ranger pajamas that were like, you know what I mean, and then do both with the same stuff. Okay.
Fair enough. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather eat Vegemite once a day or eat fairy bread once a day?
Oh, that's
what is fairy bread?
I've never had Vegemite. I don't know what it is.
Well, Americans don't understand Vegemite because they put it on like peanut butter, and it's supposed to be lots of butter with a scraping of Vegemite. That's how you do it on white fluffy bread, and it is yum.
So is it like a jam or preservative?
It's actually yeast extract. That's what it is. It's salty. It's very, very salty.
Okay,
I'd eat fairy bread.
Traitor.
I've never heard of fairy bread. Is it just sprinkles on bread?
Yeah, sprinkles and butter on bread. Yep. I grew up with that one too.
News to me. News to me.
Sugar and butter sandwiches.
I was the oldest child. I ate the end of the bread. So it was always, I got the end loaf of the bread. It was just,
Did you guys ever do chips sandwiches?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Potato chip sandwiches for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lay's in particular, right? Yeah, like the
See, I was gonna ask Kat. So the time that I tried Vegemite was on pasta. Is that a common thing, or is it mostly?
No. No. We used to do. I don't know who gave you pasta. That was not a good.
That was a strong no too.
No.
You know what? We would do it on. Sometimes you'd do like a little Vegemite on toast with an egg because it's salty, so that would work. Or we would do Vegemite and cheese sandwiches. That was popular.
Okay, I'll have to give it another go.
Lots of butter with a scraping with the super fluffy bread. Oh, it's so good.
All right. Next convention, we'll all have Vegemite and fairy bread.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Okay.
I'll have the fairy bread.
Okay. All for you, Nakia.
Yes.
Right.
Rolling along for our Power Ranger friends, Kat and Nakia, would you rather have your Zord be based off of a sloth or have your Zord be based off of a penguin? And Zordon would say sloth very slowly.
No, yes. Penguin for sure, because you have to be able to move a little quicker than a sloth when you're in your Zord.
Fair enough.
You know, I might say a sloth just because they're so interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Even on screen, it's so just unfathomable that they just take forever to say hello. So I would probably say sloth.
Okay.
They are interesting creatures, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here's the next one. Would you rather have an Alpha 5 with you to handle your daily tasks, or have a Morpher to send you anywhere at any time?
Morpher.
Morpher for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Alpha,
eat dust.
Oh no, Rangers!
Aye.
He's a aye. Oh, there's someone's at the high school burning down varsity flags.
Call the Power Rangers immediately. I love it.
Sorry, Alpha. All right. It's all right.
Sorry,
It's all right.
I butchered it. My Zordon is poor. My Alpha is all right.
I thought they were both great, Josh.
Yeah.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too kind. All right, moving right along. What would you rather see a Power Rangers crossover with Scooby-Doo? See a Power Rangers crossover with Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Scooby-Doo's cute, but I see I can see it. Power Rangers and
Power Rangers
Marshmallow
Ghostbusters?
Man, take down
Right?
the marshmallow guy.
Yeah.
Sweet
Ooh,
Puffs? Oh.
guy. That would be fun to fight. Then
Yeah.
we
We could eat him. Yeah.
Yes. I can see that later. Like the Power Rangers having like marshmallow, you know what I mean? Pie.
S'mores. We're having s'mores cook-off.
Egon and Spangler are studying the Zords, and Venkman's just kind of hanging out with you two. That'd be hilarious. I'd love it.
Wow. All right. We have one more. So here's the final one. Would you rather compete together on The Amazing Race or compete against each other on Fear Factor?
Amazing Race. Nakia, don't fight me in the Fear Factor. I'll be terrified.
Yeah. I'd have to go Amazing Race as well. We'd have to go. Yeah.
Fear Factor is terrifying.
Oh yeah, all those bugs.
The rat. I'll never forget that one episode I watched with the rats. They had someone, and I was like, I would literally die. I would die.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fear Factor has transformed over the years. It used to be like watching people eat horrible things. And it was really all about that and like covering your face with spiders. And now it's turned into like, well, now you're going to jump out of a helicopter and try and like shoot a bow and arrow in midair. You're like,
oh, really?
Yeah, it's turned into more like the newer Fear Factors turned into more stunt kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like who was the Ludacris? Was he? Did he take over for Joe Rogan?
Right. I think it's Ludacris is running the show now, and even at Universal Studios, they used to have a live Fear Factor show that like audience members would sign up for in the heyday of when like people would have to eat like weird stuff, you know. So
I'd eat a bug. I'd eat a bug.
Would you eat a bug?
Yeah,
I would eat like one of like if I was in places where like it was like served, like you go to Singapore, like the Philippines and some of these Asian countries, they have a huge buffet of all sorts of insects that are cooked and smoked perfectly. That's where I would want to particularly try to eat a cricket. If I was going to eat one, would be over there or something.
I've had crickets. Josh, crickets are easy.
Mantis,
scorpions, baby.
Scorpions.
Yeah. Come on.
Whoa.
Anyway, first we'll have the Vegemite, then we'll do the scorpions. But
whoa.
Anyway, so that was our game of Would You Rather. Nakia, we are at 45 minutes and 32 seconds. That's what you said. We're I'm just kidding. That's what you said. We're cutting it up. So before we do wrap it up, is there any final thoughts that you guys want to leave us with here today?
First of all, I just want to thank you for being on your show. I love it. I love the game. I love the conversation. Thank you. Please check out our YouTube channel, Power Rangers Playback, our podcast, which is called Super Chat with Kat and Nakia. And we have a new episode that's coming on this Monday. And we actually talk about us both having COVID. I got COVID and she got COVID literally a week after me.
I couldn't let her have it alone.
You share everything. Yeah,
we did.
we really had two different experiences, which was, mine was a little bit more difficult than hers. And I still actually have some repercussions from COVID. So we talk about, we really get in depth with that on Monday. So check it out.
Check it out. And thank you so much, you guys. It was such a bonus seeing you, Josh. That was a nice little surprise. This is such a fun show. Thank you so much for having us. I don't want to leave. Can I just stay on for the next couple hours?
Yes, absolutely. We'll hang out. We got to go over our upcoming guests first, but please feel free to stay. So upcoming next week, we have Okay, so I'm going to learn how to pronounce his name. This is a hard one. Okay, so Nick from the band Bayside. And then the following Tuesday for our spooky episode, we have Steve Gonzalez from Ghost Hunters and Ghost Nation. The following Tuesday, we have Aaron Sagers. He's also a paranormal investigator and huge in the convention scene, obsessed. And then Kat, your favorite, at the next one, Ralph himself from Jackass. So that'll be great.
Wow.
But we would absolutely be so honored if you guys would join us again. I know things are definitely starting to pick up and as the world is starting to resume, but Josh and I are here. So whenever you guys want to join us, please do. We would be so honored to have you all back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yay. All right, Josh.
Thank you guys for all your wonderful support. Thank you guys. You can check them out on their social media. Check out the YouTube. Thank you, as always, Heather, for letting me be your co-host on the wonderful show. And if you guys want to follow me, you know where to go. Josh Petersdorf, Google it. Make yourself pleased. You can check out all my sick Instagram posts of me doing Optimus Prime impersonations as Jack Nicholson. That's my newest one. Check that out. So.
I gotta hear that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, until next week, can I say, go Power Rangers? I'm trying to think of it.
It's Morphin time.
Oh, that's even better. All right, guys, we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Well,